Hey guys, welcome to Love Story. Oh my gosh, this thing. Okay, so I have a new camera. Come this way. This way. Hey, over here. Y'all, I don't mess with technology. This is why I don't. Okay, got a mic. I hope the mic is working. Oh my gosh, I should have tested it. Y'all, oh my gosh. Real time. Okay, let's get into this video. So, I am making this video, and it's the end of the day, and I spent most of the day just relaxing. I felt like a flare-up today, and one pattern that I've noticed with everything going on is that I get energy and everything loosens up in my body by the evening. And I chalked this up to my long career of working evenings and weekends. As a hairstylist, salon owner, sure, the mornings I would be there, especially Saturdays and Fridays, but a lot of the time was evenings and weekends. So there's so many reasons that we give excuses for how we feel and what we're going through. And another one of those excuses is age, getting older, hormonal issues, perimenopause, stuff like that. So in this video, I am going to give symptoms I noticed and how they have amped up or changed. Come back up. Hello. Okay, it's not an animal. And I'm going to talk about the main symptoms affecting my life right now. So I have like 10 symptoms of that. And then the different doctor visits that I've had that have been helpful, that have ruled out things. And I have 4 of those. And I'm going to give 3 suspicions I have as to what is going on. Because I really don't know. This is just my story because, we have to advocate for ourselves these days with our health. And I think also it's like reach one, teach one. Like I learn from other people and what they're going through. Because with these kind of symptoms, or like especially autoimmune stuff, but really with anything, it can take years to diagnose. So, and there is no one size fits all. There is no black and white way of understanding these things. So we have to help each other out and help the doctors out. So, and let me put a disclaimer. None of this stuff is medical advice. Like none of it at all. Always seek your own doctor. But I'm also going to name at least 8 things that I have done that have helped treat my stuff naturally. And I'm using the word treat because it's not anything that's masking. It's not like, I think something like if you're dealing with dry mouth, dry eyes, the natural things that doctors and stuff tell you to do is chew gum or put eye drops in. I don't do that. I don't do that. Like I am trying to get to the root cause to change the way my body is responding to attacking itself or whatever it is actually doing. And so I have like at least 8 of those things that have been helpful. And let's see, let me pause this. Okay, so, and then I also have a theory, and I want to also discuss like Parkinson's, like not fully and completely, but a lot of diseases out there, they start because of a trigger, right? And then it moves on to something else. So, and I will put links up, pictures up. Go down. Why is this thing doing this? Guys, come back. Okay, I don't like what it's doing right now, so give me a sec. All right, there we go. For some reason, it wants to follow my fingers. I'm going to start with, and I'm going to make certain parts of these quick. 8 years ago, I got the Epstein-Barr virus, and this is when a lot of things happened. My health went downhill. And it took me about 6 months to get out of the Epstein-Barr virus. It seemed like the flu, and but it wasn't, because it lasted a long time. But in the midst of that, I did not know that my body was fighting a oral bacteria that was from my root canal that I probably at that time had for about 12 years. By the time the tooth came out, I had it for about 20 years. And so in between time of me having Epstein-Barr and then having that tooth removed, and I got sepsis from that tooth. It was so bad. Definitely could have died from that. But in between that, I did get COVID. I had COVID like 3 times. I recovered quickly and easily the first 2 times I had COVID. And then the third time I got it, it took me out. And a lot of what it attacked was my throat, my voice, my breathing, my diaphragm. I'm telling you guys, it was bad with that. Like even with, oh God, this is crazy. Even with trying to, after I recovered from COVID, and then I had like long COVID, this never really fully went away. Oh my gosh. This is shenanigans. Like what is this thing doing? I really don't like technology, y'all. Hold on. I don't know. But I ended up, I got attacked so bad in those areas of my body that at some point I couldn't do the planks anymore. And I used to work out all the time. A lot of things that required my stomach muscles, I couldn't do. So it was almost like my nervous system got attacked. I started getting lots of twitching in my diaphragm, spasms in my throat, my eyes, just parts of my head, just like different things. Now, after that, long COVID, and I just kept getting sick up and down, right? Thinking it's just long COVID, but ended up having that tooth infection, went sepsis, and then it got better, right? So, long story short, I'm 1 year post sepsis, and now I'm having like all these other issues, but yet also getting better. So I will say I've had eye twitching and headaches that, were just there, right? And it just kept getting worse. And I did have surgery, some months ago or whatever, but it had nothing to do with anything, but the recovery wasn't the best, right? So, because my body was already trying to heal post sepsis, and my white blood cell count is always high just because it's always fighting something. I have a lymph node back here that's been swollen, and it's just like they've been watching it. So it's just a little bigger than what it should be, right? And then, but I will say, so for right now, for the main thing that I'm talking about, I would say about 8 months ago is when I've had certain things just amp up. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. One of them is fatigue. Now, fatigue on its own, you don't really think about, but, was just fatigue, like just tired. But I had this like neck pain, head pain, and face pain to the point where I would just need to relax my face. And then if I was driving, lay my head back and relax. Or if I'm at home, I need to go lay down because my neck is being tired of being held up. Number 2 is brain fog. A lot of cognitive issues that I chalked up to, post sepsis. And I will say, everything that I have had could be a trigger. You know what I mean? This thing is horrible. Could have been a trigger, or could be a trigger. And this also does or can lead up to Sjogren's disease. I didn't even say what I'm talking about here exactly, because I really don't know what it is, but I have my suspicions. So there's a lot of information out there about this stuff. But the third symptom that has affected my life, and I think it all stems from the nervous system, and then the nervous system cannot speak to the muscles. So we have soft muscle, like our esophagus and stuff is made of muscle. It's soft, smooth muscle. And so all the systems in the body are messed up if your nervous system is messed up. So your nervous system is not speaking to the muscles. So they're not friends anymore. So they're not working together anymore. And then the third symptom I've had is joint pains, right? That happens if my body's inflamed, if I'm not eating the best foods. I'm just more inflamed, more stiff. And it has gotten better over time since, because when I was heading into sepsis and going sepsis and just going through that just super sick, bed sick for a couple years, the stiffness was out of this world, like out of this world. Yeah, so it's gotten so much better, but at the same time, sometimes I still have it. Number 4, this is where I really started thinking what's going on. My mouth had a sour taste, metallic taste, and then it went to sour. And food and drink tastes different, and then it's all right, guys, I hope the mic is on. I hope it's working, but I got rid of that other thing for now. I just wanted to quickly go through these with still giving some of my life experiences. So number 5, main symptom I got that affects my life, that started affecting it even more, was suddenly I started to get dry mouth. And it was just I'm why am I thirstier than normal? Sure, I take a green juice and a water and coffee to work when I was going to work early, so I can have it. It's good to have water in the morning, it's good to have a green juice, but gotta have your coffee. So after that time period, it was when school, because I was a sub, when it ended about May, for some reason my excessive thirst actually got worse than that. So it was this weird level of I'm drinking all this water, why am I so thirsty? And so let's see. Number 6, with the dry mouth, at the same time I started to notice dry eyes. And that would only happen upon waking up. So, imagine waking up and your eyes are so dry that it's painful to open. And on top of that, you have this weird taste in your mouth, and then your throat, your esophagus going down, it just feels dry. And I know GERD can cause that, but hey, if your stomach muscles are not digesting correctly, of course GERD can be the reason, but let's see. Oh yeah, with the dry eyes, I got sudden blurry vision. And my vision is great, and it always has been, but close up, and I know getting older, it's you can't see things close up, but it was just this sudden thing, and I was just whoa. And so since I'm having all these head things, including when I was headed into sepsis at that one point in time in my life, and when I had COVID, I ended up developing sleep apnea. So I was gasping for air. Oh my gosh, it was horrible, in my sleep. But with the increase, blurry vision, gasping for air. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the esophagus. Hold on, I don't even know where I was going with that, but dry eyes, blurry vision, increased light sensitivity. So, that just got worse throughout the years. But, upon waking up with the dry eyes, dry mouth, all of that together, it's just like, okay, what's going on? Why do I have these weird symptoms amping up? Then number 7, having like this bubbly stomach in my upper GI, like as if food is just staying up in this area. Like, why is food sitting here? And then why am I feeling like there's bubbles that are staying there, forever? So, and then months later, I'd lay down, and sure, I could wait a couple hours after a meal before I lay down, but I'm getting these bubbles creep up. And it's just like bubbles, 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 like little itty bitty bubbles. You can feel them. And then when I like just burping more, and it would just come out of nowhere, kind of uncontrolled, like, oh shoot, I'm sorry, excuse me, like that was rude, but I didn't even know it was coming. Like, and then it would just take forever for that food to digest and go through. And then the gas, like, then there's gas in it seems like not the lower GI, but more like the colon area. And then it just doesn't want to come out. Like, it would just stay there and bubble up. Like, I know, TMI. Okay, number 8, nausea. Just a lot of nausea. And I will say these symptoms also all amped, like the stomach stuff amped up after we went to a farm and I got raw milk. I know. I wanted to try the whole raw milk thing. And then a couple days later, we got pizza and a few of us got food poisoning. And then the difference is, well, 2 of us did. One, my daughter's, hers cleared up. And then mine just took a couple weeks before it cleared up, but yet it made the digestive stuff way worse. Like, it amped it up. It's continued to amp up in certain ways. But then with this diet change that I'm going to tell you guys about, it has gotten better also. The neurological things have gotten better. Number 9, just not having an appetite. And that's just not like me. It's like the appetite of like one meal and maybe one snack is good enough. And before that, like, I've been bed sick plenty of times, so it's not because I'm not moving enough. I'm not, as a matter of fact, I've been moving more the last year than I had been before. So it's like, it's not that, oh, you're not hungry because you're not moving enough. No, I mean, sure, I'm not walking miles consistently like I used to and working out, lifting weights and all that stuff, but for some reason my digestion must be going slower because I am just not as hungry. So that has to do with the nervous system, your body not digesting type of thing, not speaking to the smooth muscles to digest, Number 10, bloating. So that kind of goes hand in hand with like the bubbly stomach and nausea and all that. The bloating would just, it's like this bloating swelling in the upper GI, mainly the upper GI. And so I'm going to go on to the doctor visits. In lieu of all this, months ago, I had an endoscopy because of some, just the minor symptoms that I did have. And everything came out fine. They even tested me for H. pylori, and I didn't even know what that was. But among getting more symptoms of the stomach stuff, I was like, oh, maybe I have H. pylori. So I took an Amazon test. I know, kind of weird. And then when I also visited, I did a televisit for my primary care because the poison, when I got food poisoning, it just was not going away. They tested me for other things also, for other like bacterial things, and nothing came up. So then soon after, I got a colonoscopy. I had been putting off the colonoscopy for so long, but nothing came out with that. Like, I don't even have a celiac or gluten problem. So, I mean, praise God to that, but at least we can rule out there's nothing wrong here. But so it's like, well, no polyps, no, like, no nothing in my colon, like, it's great, but what's going on? Then, I have been dealing with TMJ, and how this correlates is the TMJ dentist. He's a specialist with sleep medicine, and he said your upper back, your traps can cause TMJ. So it's just all connected. And I started getting I had a mouth thing to help with that, but I had to take it out because just my nervous system got worse. Like all of my head stuff, just the eyes just having to go like this, and it's like always have to just feel like I need to relax my face, and it starts to sink like this, like I just sometimes need to do that to like relax it so that it's not so like spazzy in here. And actually, like, my temporal muscle is not as spastic, but the dentist did get that on his little, I call it medieval device thing. It showed where this side has a lot of tension, and so that was like a helpful but expensive segue to learning more about the body and different things. Now, this is where number 4 doctor visit, this is the last one I'll talk about, the chiropractor. I'm back at the chiropractor, and it's been a couple years just because of everything that's happened with my health. I hadn't been able to go, but all right, so I want to expound on the chiropractor. So literally as soon as I went to the chiropractor, about a week later, I was back on the trails 2 days in a row doing 2 miles a day. And that's a big deal. Haven't done that a couple of years. Like, actually, because if I attempted to do the trail, I would be like in the bed, so fatigued and tired for about 2 weeks recovering. So I believe that's from like lactic acid buildup in the body, just from inflammation and just all the things. So the chiropractor, in that visit with my chiropractor, the initial visit, we discovered that I developed scoliosis. Now, that's just within the last 3 years. So I was seeing my chiropractor before, never had scoliosis. So me being bedsick for 2 years of that time really took a toll. And then having a nervous system issue, causing me to sleep really bad and just like crooked, and just like always had neck problems, back, all that. So everything has been out of alignment. But let me give this testimony. So after going to the chiropractor for a few weeks, and then I was able to do that, and this was a couple weeks after I had a deliverance healing miracle service that I went to. I've been petitioning, praying God for healing and deliverance, and just from everything that has kept me bound, everything that has kept me sick. And I did ask God to lead me to the right places to get that healing and deliverance also. Because sometimes, yes, it can happen at the altar quickly overnight, all those things. But then there's also God provides us with other ways, like changing our diets, giving us information on, other health things to do, and providing us with good doctors and stuff like that. So I had a dream a couple weeks after seeing my chiropractor, and I had a dream that I was getting my back fixed, cracked at her office. And I was on the table that she usually cracks me in, and I was in this particular position that she has had me go in. And but the person that was there to crack my back was not her, and it was not another doctor, but I knew it was like some angel, some angelic being, and it cracked my back, and the scoliosis thing went back into being straight. And it was more than just a crack. It was like a crack, and I was very uncomfortable in my dream, but yeah, it didn't hurt. So, but I knew I was like being healed. So that's just like a praise thing. I believe that God is doing that. But another thing that was found was my head, that where the atlas is, it was forward and out of position, which that makes so much sense because of all the neurological things that are going on. I'm hoping that with the chiropractic help, that those things will continue to simmer down. I haven't had as many headaches, and I haven't been as haven't had as many twitches and my temporalis in my eyes and all that stuff. So that doctor has really helped me. And I will be going to see my PCP actually in like 3 days. And I'm gonna go on a timeline journey with her because I want her to point me in the right direction to see the right doctor. Now, I have seen a rheumatologist before when I had that tooth infection in my body that I didn't know of, and they tested for lupus because I had all the symptoms for lupus, and it runs in my family, like all the other autoimmune conditions run in my family also. So I have a predisposition, but that doesn't mean that I have to get those things. It just means I have to be careful and I have to take precaution and I have to do things to counteract that. So I did not have lupus. So, but my 3 suspicions on this journey is that I could have a stomach bacteria. I did not know that SIBO can be caused from different types of antibiotics. And going through that sepsis journey, I believe I was on clindamycin for 30 days. It was some antibiotic that oral surgeons typically, they can prescribe. And it's a very strong one, if I'm saying the right one. But that was pretty rough. My skin, I knew it was helping me, but it was also hurting me. Like I had to stop it on the last 3 days. So I was on it for 27 days. But my skin was pale, grayish. I was just like kind of lifeless. But yeah, I knew I needed to fight that bacteria from the tooth infection. I knew I needed to continue taking it, but it was messing with my heart at some point and just some other things. But throughout the year of healing from sepsis, I was on and off other antibiotics like amoxicillin, and I would get UTIs, and I never would get UTIs this often, but I just kept getting them. And I believe now that it had to do with dehydration. And so in my journey to just having all these antibiotics, I found out I was allergic to, I believe it was macrobid or something like that, but I had red itchiness and swelling on my arms, my legs. It was weird. What else? I don't know. That was just a whole journey of, I didn't even know, but I ended up in the ER because of an antibiotic. My heart, so the ER doctor did not put it together, but he at least got to understand what was going on with me. And my heart had like heart murmur and something else. I made a video about it, but it, like weeks after I was off of that antibiotic, my heart and everything went to be normal. So I was suffering from something that I think, like he said, 60-year-olds get, where they end up passing out. And, it's a heart problem. But like after I stopped taking the antibiotics, I no longer had the heart problem. And I even saw a heart doctor because they sent me to a specialist. And he's like, you don't have any symptoms of the, and I was like, yeah, like I'm fine. But I think it was the antibiotics. So, stomach bacteria, SIBO, it could be that, especially because one of the doctors that prescribed me antibiotics, he did say take probiotics, and I did, but not like I should have. Like I should have been consistent, and I was not. Then number two, maybe I could just be super dehydrated. But, based on the UTIs, I believe because of the constant UTIs that I was having, because I'm not now, but I was having what would be because of Sojourns. Because if you have Sojourns, it can attack the salivary glands and glands all over your body. So you're being dehydrated. And so when I got my colonoscopy, you take the medication and you're going, you have the diarrhea and all that, you get dehydrated. So when you get there, they give you an IV before the procedure, and it's like you kind of are like, oh, thank God, because I couldn't drink water for 2 hours or whatever, 4 hours. And that was actually pretty rough. And literally 2 days later, I had like UTI symptoms, and I looked it up. And it said because of being dehydrated from the procedure, the prep of a colonoscopy. So just the fact that I get dehydrated so easily, I'm thinking, number three, that it's probably Sojourns. It's not just a normal dehydration. Like, the sour mouth taste, the dry mouth, the eyes, all the symptoms together, just it's creating something more. The things that have helped me, that have treated me, are I stopped eating meat. Now, not that I don't eat it at all, and I also stopped eating dairy, but not that I don't eat it at all. It's just a couple times a week, if that. I don't need it, and I don't necessarily want it. Number two, I'm doing a lot of meals with fruits and veggies and plant milks. And it's been very helpful. And that's really all I want. Number three, I took oregano oil drops, 4 drops under my tongue once a day for about 2 weeks. And that is what actually started to help. So, oregano oil is antimicrobial, it's a natural antibiotic. And I'm gonna get back on doing that because some other stomach symptoms have started to come back, but I feel like it really calmed down a lot of the bubbliness in my stomach. And I do feel like my digestion is doing so much better now, but I think it's because of just eating more fruits and vegetables. Just like I used to be afraid to have big bowls of fruit because it's so much sugar, but it's I've been watching people who eat raw vegan food. That's their diet. They're raw vegans, and they eat big bowls of fruit for breakfast, and they're so fit and so strong and healthy and vibrant and glowing. And these foods, they come straight from the plants. They come straight from the ground. They're not dead meat. So that has been just something that has been helpful. Let's see, number 4, I've been taking NAD. So a little after the chiropractor, me walking and stuff, I started to take the NAD, and I'm like, okay, so the chiropractor has helped me to get out there and walk, because I'm aligned and my posture, and I'm not as dizzy, because the walking, I would have to hold somebody's hand or be next to someone, but I can go walk by myself now if I wanted to. And that's a major testimony, major milestone. But the NAD has given me the energy to continue to go on day to day, to clean, to organize, to lift things. Now my muscles are not yet strong, but at least my nervous system is talking to the muscles a little more, and so they're beginning to develop. Now at my chiropractor visits, I have a personal trainer, and he helps me with some stretching that I just never thought I would have to learn to do. But some of the stretches you have, in the very first day I went, the second day I went, it was so hard because mentally, cognitively, my brain was not connecting how to do certain things, coordinate certain movements. It was just the weirdest, strangest thing. Walking around the room to get from the one bed to another bed, and follow instruction was very hard because it was like this off balanceness, but I have the balance. I can walk in there with a clear mind, be like, hey, good morning, guys. Put my paper down, go to the table, and do my thing. And so some of the stretches I do at home, and some, like, this is how bad my neck and stuff has been. Like, some of the stretches are just so simple. You just put your head this way, you put your arm. So my arm, I'm extending it out and I'm stretching my fingers. Stretch, like, and I have to hold that, and then like I just hold it for like 10 seconds and keep doing it over and over, just as simple as that. And I can feel tingling in my fingers, and just to stretch the stuff out. And then some other ones are just like pushing it and holding it, and then pushing my chin down. And for a while my chin was not getting close enough, but now it is. But you can feel that stretch in your back. And then there's so many other stretches, but one big milestone, and he was actually shocked about this one, is because I can use these muscles now. I noticed when I went to lay on the chiropractor bed, I actually was able to lay down, like you have to go face down. I was able to actually put my hands on the table and hold myself up and just go down. Because whereas before I had to like kind of roll my body like a big old roll marshmallow. But now it's like I have this ability to like, hold myself up. The muscles are working. And so he was like, okay, let's work on this. So like one exercise is I can hold it for 15 or 30 or whatever. And then the other one is you like push back, and then you do left and right side, and you hold it for like 15 seconds, 30 seconds. Those have been really helpful. So, and I hope that'll help with my like jaw alignment with that Team J thing. Cause with the dental stuff that I've had going on, I can tell my jaw has gone backwards, and I'm trying to get it to come back forward. And some other things that have helped treat me are, to finish number 4, I said NAD, but I also have a urinary support, and I'll put my NAD and urinary support multivitamin down below. But all right, so just to save space, here's a picture. I just lay there like that to rest my neck and stuff when it gets tired. It's the weirdest thing, but I know it's neurological. So back to the number 4 with the vitamins. The B vitamins, the multivitamin that I take has B vitamins in it, like extra. So that's crucial for nerves and energy. All right, number 5 things that have helped treat me is the chiropractor. Like I said, aligning the spine and the atlas and stuff is crucial, because nerves could be pinched, and the vagus nerves goes all the way through the body, like through a lot of the body. It's so crucial. So if the nervous system is jacked up, by the vagus nerve or any other nerve, like it's just going to be out of whack. So that has helped so much. Number 6, I have a list of a few things to help alkalinize the stomach, which is apple cider vinegar with water, sodium bicarbonate, aka baking soda, just like 1/4 of a teaspoon, and 8 ounces of water. And number 7, magnesium spray. So you put it at the bottom of your feet, because your feet are, they can soak up things very easily. And Epsom salt baths. That has been very, very helpful. Number 8, marshmallow root, which I make homemade marshmallows from. And comment below if you're interested in a video on how to do that. But it actually helps the gut, and I need to keep having those marshmallows in my house, because I'll make it and then time goes by, and then I'm like, man, it did something to my mood, which means it did something to my stomach, because your gut is connected to your brain and all that. And number 9, so I'm adding this one because I forgot it. There's this video out talking about how our bodies are drying up, or there's this new theory, or not even theory, but science, And we're drying up, we're getting old, and it's very important to oil your skin. So your skin is your largest organ, and I bought some organic sesame oil. It doesn't smell the best, but that whatever you put on your skin, it sucks up so quickly, so easily. So if you put that oil on your skin, it's bringing in that moisture, and I feel like that has absolutely been helpful. And one thing I need to do is be consistent with ashwagandha. And I can only take ashwagandha in the evening or at night because it actually does make me sleepy. So that would help relax the nerves on a consistent basis. And one thing I do know that I probably shouldn't do is drink coffee. But hey, I'm a coffee lover and I don't drink it necessarily for energy. And as a matter of fact, with this new diet that I have been doing, just plant-based mostly, I wake up feeling like I do not need coffee. Now, I do want to add this. When I wake up, I lay there sometimes when I'm having the bad moments because of what I ate the day before. I have to lay there for about an hour because the stomach is dry and stiff and hard. And if my bones and stuff are, just stiff and painful, it takes me a little while too. But most of the time, as long as I'm not eating dairy and inflamed, my body is fine. And it's just the stiffness in my esophagus and my throat and just the dryness of the eyes and all that. It's very painful, actually. So when I lay there and start swallowing and just start, moving around and sitting up, it lubricates those areas. So then I can move around. But let me see. And one last thing, I know that drinking coffee is dehydrating. However, I love the taste of coffee, and I have tried not to have coffee, but I just love it. It's just one of those things, one of those joys in life that I love, that I'm not going to give up. So all of these other things have been helpful for me, so it's just a matter of when I drink coffee. And a lot of the green juicing has helped me. The beet juice with turmeric has helped. I need to do more smoothies and more of the Arbonne protein. And I say Arbonne protein simply because that has the complete amount of amino acids we need to just survive. And it has even more things in it. And it's the best tasting protein I've ever had. The one that will not just sit on my shelf and collect dust. So, I know there's things I need to do that I'm not doing, but some things I'm just not willing to get rid of, if you know what I mean. So I hope this video has helped someone, and I will, make some updated videos as I find out other things. Thank you. God bless.